make sure you're subscribed to Jerkrispy.
Y'all know I like to get the information about the NBA, some NBA information of what's going on. Today I got the flight Mike, the flight Mike dude, with the basketball information. This is something like new. This is the first time he gonna be on the channel. So yeah. Anywho, what's up, y'all? It's your host, most does the most. Welcome back from that video. Giannis lied to everyone? Man, what you mean Giannis lied to everybody? Oh, Giannis, you lying? So we just lying to people now? Damn, Giannis, what you lied about though? Like, it gotta be a good reason why you lied. But make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. All my new people, like, comment, subscribe. We're on the road to 500. And let's see what's going on. Why they say Giannis lying to everyone?
We're not playing hard. Not playing hard. We're not doing the right thing.
The 4 calf strains in a year and a half it's not a good development. 4 to 6. Should the Bucks just sit him down and say see ya next year and worry about the draft pick?
Giannis Antetokounmpo shouldn't play again this season. Call
For
it
the
like
Bucks.
it is.
Do you remember just 3 weeks ago when Giannis sat in front of the media and said there will never be a chance and there will never be a moment that I will come out and say that I want to trade? That's not in my nature. Do you guys remember that? Well, guess what? It was all a lie because Shams just dropped a bomb on Wednesday morning.
Guys, this has been the
I ain't lying
culmination
to
of
you.
9 months.
At best, I would like, if the Warriors really do want to go all in and to drop some pieces, they might as well get Giannis, bro. Like, they already got some pieces that they could go ahead and get the Bucks. But the Bucks is not going to actually get up Giannis. Giannis is the franchise player for the Bucks. You know, when Giannis won a championship with the Bucks, bro, the Bucks like in their mind, like, bro, we cannot trade this man. We trade this man, our franchise will go down in the dirt, and we will be like the Wizards, the freaking Pistons. We will be like the Jazz and all them. That's why that's why they're not making Giannis leaving.
Conversations. He has made it clear publicly, privately, he wants to compete for a second championship. Ownership, John Horst, Doc Rivers, they sold Giannis Antetokounmpo this season on winning at a high level. The Bucks team that is now 12th in the Eastern Conference. They're 9 games under 500. He has made it clear to them in private conversations, as much as he loves Milwaukee, he is ready to move to a new team potentially. And I'm told there's already been several aggressive offers made to the Bucks.
And the Milwaukee Bucks are finally listening to offers, but that's not even the craziest part, because what Shams also reported is that Giannis has been telling the Bucks for months that he believes that the moment has come to part ways. So while Giannis was out here telling us he'd never ask for a trade, behind closed doors, he's been making it.
It was same as Jimmy Butler too, because Jimmy Butler was saying he was going to stay with the Heat. It's a old dude who was with the Heat, parted ways, wanted him, and then they was cutting him off his minutes and all that other stuff. And then they was getting mad because he would drink coffee and stuff like that. I was like, coffee? My dog can't drink coffee? From a coffee. But they was hating on Giannis. Not Giannis, I mean Jimmy Butler. And Jimmy Butler went to the Warriors and succeeded. Now he out with a ACL injury. He out for the year, so he'll probably be coming back strong. But if they really want to get to the groove, to get that over that hump, I'll just go ahead and get Giannis and just my draft pick. Just pick up my draft pick, some good draft picks, bro. Like, I'm not gonna hold you, just to keep it a buck.
Very clear that he's been ready to move on, and this completely turned the trade deadline market upside its head, because the Miami Heat were originally pursuing John Morant. They decided to abandon that pursuit and go big game hunting. They are now targeting Giannis. So that's not the only team. According to Chris Mannix, the Golden State Warriors have already put together a package of Jimmy Butler, Jonathan Kuminga, and a ton of draft picks. But what about Giannis?
Dude, if they trade Jimmy Butler and John Kuminga, well, I don't care about Kuminga, but Jimmy Butler. You traded Jimmy Butler, your second best option, out of everybody off of Curry. Curry is your number one option. Jimmy Butler is your second option. If we don't look at stats and you don't look how many points this man is putting every game, 21 plus, and you trying to trade him? Nah, bro. I would have seen you trade Buddy Hield. Yeah, Mike Moody. Yeah, you could trade them. I mean, slightly Pods. But I don't want Pods to leave, though. I really don't want Pods to leave. Low key. I don't. Like, y'all need to, put some trade ins, low key. Don't trade Jimmy because he out for ACL or whatever injury he hurt for. But don't do that, bro. Because that's going to be, not even going to want him to play for another team, bro. He's going to probably retire after that. Real talk.
Preferred destination, the New York Knicks. Well, on Sunday morning, I dropped a video explaining how Karl Anthony Towns' recent performance could lead to a Giannis trade. But here's the thing that you guys need to understand. This isn't just about Giannis wanting out anymore. This is about a franchise that is falling apart in real time. A locker room that's filled with tension, a two-time MVP who literally booed his own fans, and a situation that's so toxic that multiple people inside the organization have told ESPN that the writing is on the wall with Giannis. So we're going to break down everything. Who's actually going to land him? What are the trade packages? And how did this even happen? How did things fall apart so fast? So make sure you drop, like, subscribe, and turn on our notifications, and let's get to today's video. Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? So let's get to exactly what was reported on Wednesday morning, because there is so much to unpack here. According to Shams, multiple teams have been calling the Bucks about Giannis, and those teams are now telling reporters that Milwaukee is more open than ever to moving the 10-time All-Star. Like I said in all of my Giannis videos in the past, guys, there is no reason for the Milwaukee Bucks to keep Giannis, and there's no reason for Giannis to want to stay in Milwaukee. The Milwaukee Bucks are stuck paying Damian Lillard $22 million a year for the next 5 years. They have no assets at all whatsoever to make a trade in order to become competitive, so their best bet is to trade Giannis, get as many young players and assets as possible, and start a rebuild. Here's where it gets interesting, though. The Bucks are saying that they're not in a rush to make a deal before the trade deadline. Their asking price is steep. They want either a blue chip young player or a massive haul of draft picks. And if they don't get what they want, they're completely comfortable waiting until the offseason when they might have better options on the table. But the most revealing part about this whole report is what sources inside the organization have been saying. According to ESPN, anticipation has grown in the Bucks locker room and among team personnel that the writing is on the wall with Giannis. That's not.
They need to go ahead and build, they was there for getting Dame Lillard, but I feel like they should have got a better point guard. They should have had picked up Trae Young. I feel like the Bucks shouldn't have picked up Trae Young. It would have been Trae Young and Giannis. That would have been good right there. All they need is another shooting guard. It would have been straight. That would have been a big three right there. But yeah.
Coming from media speculation, guys, that's coming from inside the building. So why would Giannis say that he would never publicly demand a trade? Well, he doesn't really need to. That's the whole point. He can keep saying all the right things to the cameras while his agent, Alex Saratzis, handles the conversations behind closed doors. Giannis and Saratzis have been talking to John Horst for the last 9 months about whether the best fit moving forward is in Milwaukee or elsewhere. 9 months is basically since the playoffs ended. So what officially happened that made Giannis finally say, I'm done? Well, I think the moment that this officially went down was January 13th against the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Bucks were down 31 points at halftime at home against a team that they're supposed to at least be somewhat competitive with, and their home fans started booing. Look, I get it. That's what fans do when their team is getting embarrassed. That's just sports. But here's what happened next. In the third quarter, after Giannis made a layup, he booed the fans right back.
Count the bucket.
The face of the Bucks franchise stood on the court and booed his own fan base. That's not a guy who's invested in making things work anymore. That's a guy who's officially checked out. And it got worse. After the loss to OKC on January 22nd, Giannis went absolutely off on his teammates.
We're not playing hard. Not playing hard. We're not doing the right thing. We're not playing to win.
Yeah, Giannis averaged like so many points, bro. It really doesn't make sense that he really don't have pieces. And that's what he's need. He need pieces that's gonna be there and that's gonna get him. Like, I'm not gonna hold you, bro. Like, it's kind of getting crazy. If they want Giannis to stay, you might as well go get the dude. The Warriors were supposed to go get him. Go get the dude who was playing for Nuggets. Y'all know who I'm talking about. He's going dumb with Brooklyn right now. I think he's wearing number 1. Forgot what the nigga name is, but he used to play for the Nuggets. If you really want a shooting guard and he played decent defense, a shooting point guard, hey, I'm just saying.
Not play together. Our chemistry's not there. Guys are being selfish. Guys are trying to look for their own shots instead of looking for the right shot for the team.
If the fact that the Bucks couldn't build a contender around Giannis this year, if the fact that they couldn't remain competitive in a year where the East was supposed to be somewhat weaker, if that wasn't enough to make Giannis want to demand a trade, then publicly calling his teammates selfish, booing fans, and having sources say that the writing is on the wall should be enough to convince you that this marriage is officially over. Now here's where the timing gets really tricky. On January 24th, just 2 days after calling out his teammates, Giannis hurt his calf again against the Denver Nuggets. This is the same calf that kept him out for 24 days in December. It's the same injury that caused him to miss the 2024 playoffs and the 2025 All-Star game. After the game, Giannis basically diagnosed himself. He told reporters that after the MRI, they'll probably tell me I popped something in my calf and give me a protocol of 4 to 6 weeks that I'll be out. After that, I'm gonna work my butt off to come back probably end of February or beginning of March. When Giannis was asked if he would have stayed in the game if the Bucks had a better record, Giannis straight up admitted that he would have sat out earlier. He's literally risking his health for a team that he doesn't even want to.
Hey, nigga, Giannis stupid, say.
Be on anymore because he feels obligated.
Like,
now,
sad. Look how sad this man is, bro. Bro, you know this is low-key depressing. This is depressing. Same as Curry. Curry need help. Curry need help bad. Lakers, they good. Knicks is good. Thunders is good. The Wizards, they building though. They got Trae Young now. The Bucks should have got Trae Young if they really want some pieces. New Orleans Pelicans, I don't know what they got going. Who else? But this is like depressing. Like, I could just, and I ain't never been into a NBA game in my life. You could just tell this from the screen sitting down on a gaming chair. This is depressing. I would feel depressed myself playing every day and losing by 2 points. Oh, that's sad.
For a team that he doesn't even want to be on anymore because he feels obligated.
Like, look how he just dabbed this dude down. He's like, bro, you just move, bro. Like, I don't even want to talk to nobody, bro. Like, I know he's probably venting to his wife about, bro, like, I want to get the fuck around from here, bro. It's difficult. It's struggling. It's frustrated. And honestly, it's crazy.
Value? Some people think so. Brian Windhorst said that teams that want Giannis want him to make a championship run this season. And a calf injury that keeps him out until late February puts a damper on that.
Independent of the trade situation, let's just say that trade situation wasn't a thing at all. The 4 calf strains in a year and a half it's not a good development. And not only that, but these calf strains are to both calves. I think this one is his right one. And they're happening in games, but they're happening, he's not like leaping or anything like that. He's just sort of jogging or walking or jogging. And that's a couple of times he's given the look back, like, where did that come from? So independent of everything else, that's not ideal. Bottom line, he's going to be out through the trade deadline, and he is not going to have a 65 games, so he's not going to be eligible to win awards.
Here's my counter argument. This is Giannis that we're talking about. A 2-time MVP, a finals MVP, a guy putting up 28 points, 10 rebounds, rebounds, and nearly 6 assists while shooting 64.5% from the field, which is the highest field goal percentage ever for a player scoring 25 plus points per game. Teams aren't gonna pass on that because of a calf strain, trust me. So who are the primary contenders to actually trade for Giannis? I want to start with the Miami Heat because what they just did is fascinating. For weeks there were rumors that Miami was going to pursue Ja Morant from the Memphis Grizzlies, and on paper it made sense. Morant is an explosive point guard, he'd fit with Bam Adebayo, and the Heat could have gotten him without completely emptying the cupboard. But according to Sam Amick of The Athletic, Miami has signaled that they are not going to pursue Morant. Why? Because they still have hope when it comes to Giannis. Think about what that means. The Heat had a very real, very attainable target in Ja Morant, and they said no. They're keeping their assets because they believe they have a real shot at the Greek Freak. And look, Miami makes a ton of sense for Giannis. They have Pat Riley, who has never been afraid to swing for the fences on superstars, although he swings and misses a lot. They have a culture that demands excellence. They have Bam Adebayo, who would be the perfect front court partner, and they have the assets to make it work. Now the question is, what would Miami have to give up? Because you can't just send scraps for a 2-time MVP. We're probably looking at Tyler Hero, multiple first-round picks, and salary filler. But for Pat Riley, that's nothing if it means adding Giannis to make one more championship run. Now let's talk about the Golden State Warriors, because what they're reportedly
let's talk about the Warriors, matter of fact, because I'm feeling bad for Steph, bro. Like, Steph look like he's depressed, like sad, like this is like, bro, last year he was out for his thumb. You know, his thumb was messed up last year. They had a chance to go far. Yeah,
is wild. According to Chris Mannix of Sports Illustrated, the Warriors have made it known to Milwaukee that they're willing to offer Jimmy Butler and Jonathan Kuminga with a cachet.
No, don't you do that. Don't you trade Jimmy Butler. I don't care about Kuzma, the Jonathan Kuminga, not that nigga. I don't care. He doesn't play. But Jimmy Butler, you're losing your second option. Like, y'all losing your second option in general. And, like, bro, I'm telling you, you're losing your second option. That is your second option. Because Pods is basically putting up, 15, 14 points a game. He's putting basically rookie numbers up. Jimmy Butler is basically putting 21 and plus, or 28 some nights, or 26. He's staying consistently in the 20s. And you want to trade him? Why you can't trade Buddy Hield? Trade Buddy Hield. More than Moose. Like, bro, put some trade packages in. Don't trade Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler is something that you need in the future. Now you're going to trade him because, he hurt. Like, that don't mean nothing.
Of draft picks if the Bucks are willing to deal Giannis. Now, let me tell you why this is actually crazy. Jimmy Butler tore his ACL earlier this season. He's done for the year.
Mike.
The Warriors would literally be trading an injured player as salary filler to make this work. That's how badly they want Giannis. That's how desperate they are to give Steph Curry one more shot at a championship. And you know what? This might be the best offer that the Bucks have.
No, it's not.
$54 million salary is basically a necessity for matching Giannis's contract. Kuminga is the young talent that Milwaukee wants, and the Warriors can offer up to 4 first-round picks. Bobby Marks laid out what a deal would look like. It would be Jimmy Butler, Jonathan Kuminga, Brandon Podziemski, plus multiple unprotected first-round picks going into the 2030s. In return, the Warriors get Giannis and someone like Kyle Kuzma for salary purposes. Let me explain why this is the best deal that the Bucks can get. If you get 4 unprotected first-round picks from the Warriors going into the 2030s, that is way past the Steph Curry era. There is no way that the Golden State Warriors are still going to be contending or even making it into the play-in. These draft picks are certainly going to be lottery picks. Jimmy Butler can start a brief career with the Milwaukee Bucks, but they could also flip Jimmy Butler to a contending team for additional draft capital. And then they have a player that has been compared to Giannis before he got drafted into the NBA to build around. This would be the dream scenario for the Milwaukee Bucks. At the same time, as basketball fans, can you imagine Steph Curry and Giannis on the same team? Those pick and rolls would be absolutely unfair. Giannis rolling to the rim While Steph Curry is spotting up on the perimeter for an open three, defenses would have no answer for that. And don't forget, the Warriors still have Draymond Green. A Steph, Draymond, Giannis trio would be the most terrifying closing lineup in the NBA. The problem is that Mike Dunleavy has publicly said that he doesn't want to make a move that cripples the franchise in the long term. Trading all
Thank you. Thank you. Somebody has got common sense. Thank you. Thank you. If you trade Jimmy and you put all your draft picks, where is all your draft? You look and learn to. Stephen Curry was 37 years old and Jimmy is in his 30s. Once they gone, we supposed to circle around pods, and all around them. That's the dudes you need to go ahead and put them around and add on to other niggas onto that team. Don't you do that, and don't be stupid to put Jimmy Butler, take him out, go to the Bucks, and then he's not gonna sit there and play for the Bucks for a whole year and a half, and he might just sit there with a treat. Yeah, I'm retiring. Click and post like that, simple like that.
All those picks would absolutely do that if Giannis doesn't commit long term. So Golden State would need some assurance that Giannis is signing that extension before they pull the trigger. And then there's the team that Giannis wanted to go to last summer, the New York Knicks. There are multiple reports that stated that Giannis and the Bucks had actual trade discussions with the Knicks during the offseason. Jake Fisher of the Steinline reported that Giannis even told at least one Bucks teammate that he believed a trade to the Knicks was quite close to materializing. It didn't happen, but the interest was very real. The problem for the Knicks is they don't have draft picks. Stephen A. Smith has been saying for weeks that New York blew their chance at Giannis when they gave up 5 first-round picks for Mikal Bridges. If they had only given up 3, they might have had the assets to get Giannis. Now, can they still make it work? Bobby Marks rated a Giannis trade for the Knicks as 8 out of 10 difficulty. The biggest issue is the second apron. New York is hard capped, which means they can't take on more salary than they send out. That basically leaves them with one option. They have to send out Karl Anthony Towns in a straight up swap, or they have to package a combination of OG Anunoby, Josh Hart, and Mikal Bridges. But there's also an interesting detail here. The Portland Trail Blazers control the Bucks' first round picks from 2028 to 2030. And according to Jake Fisher, Portland might try to insert themselves into a Giannis to Knicks deal because they've long admired Mikal Bridges. So we could be looking at a 3-team trade where Portland gets Bridges, the Bucks get assets from both teams, and New York gets Giannis. It's complicated, but for a 2-time MVP who wants to play at Madison Square Garden, I'm sure they'll figure it out. So here's the real question. When is Giannis actually getting traded? The February 5th deadline is just 1 week away.
Giannis that's like next week on some stuff. I don't even think Giannis might not even get. I'm not gonna hold you. I think Giannis is not guaranteed is going leaving this. I say this is gonna be an off season pickup. Like it's an off season pickup. That's what I think it's gonna be.
Injured and won't be playing by then. The Bucks don't have to make a move if they don't get their asking price. And multiple reports suggest that Milwaukee is perfectly comfortable waiting until the offseason. Here's why summer might actually make more sense. In June, teams will know exactly where their draft picks land. A team that's sitting on what they think is a mid-first might actually end up with a lottery pick. That changes the calculus of what they can offer. Also, the Warriors would have more flexibility without being hard capped at the second apron, and the Knicks could potentially make more moves to position themselves better. But here's what I think people are missing. Giannis is eligible to sign that 4-year, $275 million Supermax extension starting on October 1st. If the Bucks put that contract in front of him and he says no, then Milwaukee has to trade him, because letting Giannis walk for nothing in 2027 would be an absolute disaster for that franchise. But at the same time, if you wait too long, you may lose leverage, and the packages that you're getting at this trade deadline might not look as good as next trade deadline. because teams would be more willing to wait until free agency to potentially sign Giannis and not have to trade anything for him. Look, I've been saying for months that the Milwaukee Bucks have no choice but to trade Giannis. And I think some of you guys are very irritated about it, but it's one of those situations that just makes way too much sense for it not to occur. And now, the man has officially stated to the world that he would like a trade from Milwaukee. But not only that, but reportedly he's been telling the Bucks for months that he's ready to move on. He's publicly called out his teammates. He literally booed his own fans. And now the Bucks are finally listening to offers. Let me know what you guys think about this situation.
Nah, I don't think Giannis. I think this gonna be like an off-season trade or something like that. But which I feel like what is the thing gonna be? Make sure y'all comment and
down below. If you
let me
thought
know
originally that Giannis wasn't gonna get traded, did this report change your mind? I'd like to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, I need to know
Aside
too.
from that, I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.
Like, bruh, let me know in the comments if y'all thinking they gonna get a trade or not. I think they not gonna get this trade. Nah, but we're on the road to 500 though, and I'm out.